More or Nothing.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Maul or Nothing with Ryan Wilson. Later on in the show, we will be joined by one of the stars of that fabulous Italy victory over Scotland in the shape of Louis Lynagh. But before that, we also have England brackets training camp's very own Max Laheath.
Sweet,
what a moment!
Oh, sweet. I'm an England fan until now, unless you're back in there. But Max, even to the point where, gosh, I've gone and got myself an England jersey. I was so proud.
So good.
Max Laheath, look at that jumper.
Lads, I'm going to hold it all down for you. The architects of manifestation. Who'd have thunk it, eh? Who'd have thunk it? Wednesday, walking the dogs, just minding my own business. Suddenly, just some number phoned me. Yeah, Steve. I was like, there's no shouts. 3Gs at Steve. 3Gs, far. Are you sure? Are you sure it's you? Next minute, I'm on the motorway, just driving down into training. Down at the Richmond Harbour Hotel, and we're in amongst it, boys. It was fabulous. It was glorious. Boys were great. Mate, it was awesome.
Don't go too far. We've got to work this through in stages.
Yeah.
We've got to work this
You
through
want my full debrief?
The most important part of the phone call, which I thought when you phoned me to tell me, was Borford said, whatever you do, don't put any of this in the podcast.
This is also true. So no, I can't talk about the training. Can't talk about the training, but everything else I can talk about.
And can I just say that I was like, I'll be the vault, don't worry. And no one knew. But I actually, when I was speaking to Mark, I was like, you need to know about it.
I can't tell you. Yeah.
Do you know, he nearly started crying. He said, I'm actually think I'm crying.
It was so weird because Ryan has given me a nugget of something else about your life, but we will discuss outside of this.
Yeah.
And Ryan was like, there's that thing. And I was like, he's like, there's a bit more. And I was like, is it about the thing that we can't discuss? And he went, no, it's something else. And there's a pause and I'm like, tell me it's not, is it? Has he had a phone call? And literally Ryan's like, yeah, he has. He's in camp right now. And I'm literally in the car like, I didn't know, when you don't really know how to react? Because I was just like, this is amazing. It was genuinely amazing, mate. It was so fucking proud. I cried.
So the first chat with Borford, though, on the phone, genuinely didn't believe it was him, but he's asking you about the dogs off the bat.
Yeah. I told him I was walking the dogs. He goes, what dogs you got? I got Chihuahuas. He was like, really? I was like, yeah. Diminutive little bastards, but strong spirit. Full of zeal.
Can you imagine?
And then,
weird conversation.
And then he sort of dropped it. Then he was asking if I want to come down to sort of fill in with I had some issues at tight end. So I was like, absolutely, mate. It'd be a great honour. And as soon as that, I just sort of jumped in the car, got my bits, and headed down to Richmond. And first thing I do, lads, is I walk in obviously wearing a vest as I always do, but
and jeans and your what are those
jeans, Bloodstones, yeah, the whole shebang.
Of course,
boys start laughing. Ben Earl sees it immediately. He's disgusted, revolted. So we're already flying into each other. It was great crack. Mara's laughing at me. Fordy's laughing. It's all good. Dickie loved it. Big fan of the vest. Had some scran. Settled in. Had a good chin wag with the boys. Lads, it was wonderfully natural. It was like just such a great group of men. Like socially, just wonderful people. I really can't emphasize enough how much I enjoyed myself there. Like, it was class.
I think that's almost international level of rugby, because you often look at people going into teams. There's no room for dickheads in there, and if they are, like in the club game, you can get some dickheads, and there's obviously a little bit. But when you bring people together, and at that level, they're not going to tolerate someone being a dickhead. So I think you're right there. But obviously the boys all love you. They all listen to the podcast. I just want to give some context for anyone that is just tuning into this for the first time. I doubt there is many people, but the start of all this, and that's what you initiated this conversation with. This started from Mark one day saying we should start a petition. We need to take it to Parliament. If we can get 100,000 signatures, we'll get Max in the England team. At which point, against your will, we then started egging it on a little bit more, and then we got Will Collier on, who then started to make some videos and some social media clips to the point where you were trending, you were memeing. Do you think that had a little bit of an effect?
I think, yeah, it might have conspired. The universe might have conspired to sort of manifesting this. How brilliant, both of you! Fair play. I owe you the cringe. It was, yeah. You guys are completely responsible for it.
We're not going to say that, because it is the way that you've been playing, Max. You bloody deserve it. And I tell you, everyone that I've seen in the comments, everyone's loving it. They want to see it.
Loving it.
You should be back in there. I don't know why you're not in there. Why are you not in camp still?
Oh, you let me down gently. Just for the future, bringing in big special K, George Kloska, after a strong performance against England Day down in
No. Less about him. Less about him. This is all about you, Max.
Yeah,
okay.
We just want you, man.
Have had to come and speak to you, to sort of say, because we're going to go now. We're going to work in a chronological order after this. But did he let you down nicely? Did he? Did he say, "Listen, mate"?
Yeah, he let me down nicely. Again, he was like, "Want to keep what's in camp secret?" So I was like, "Yep, absolutely. Don't worry." I know you got one. You emphasised that point on the way out, lads. So very sensitive material here.
Wait, so he's banged it. He's banged it twice. He's gone.
Well, he's banged it twice.
Don't do it on the way in, and on the way out, exit interview. He's gone.
Yeah. So let's not burn that bridge, boys. But yeah,
no.
Let me down nicely. But yeah, he was very, very happy with how I performed, and I only got really the Thursday training session, but it was awesome.
Was there, and be completely honest with me now, because everyone does it. I would have done it. Was there a little bit of you that was like,
yeah, of course, but it was a whimsical hope. A little bit of me was like, oh, this has been fun. This has been so fun.
If only. When you get into camp, Max, where you like the teacher's pet, where you like trying to, because remember, I did a similar thing for my 50th. I was called in last minute, no idea, and I'm like trying to learn line outs and all sorts of stuff like that. Did you have to learn? Because I've heard things about you learning calls.
Yeah.
From other people.
So I wouldn't say I was teacher's pet. I was trying to establish where I stood socially, like in terms of how much extroversion can I put into this group, etc., without coming across as being a little bit too sure of myself. You know what I mean? So you don't want to come in there too hot. So I was just like, I was sort of sitting back and also listening to people, trying to sort of get a gauge on a few individuals that I've only ever had the sort of opportunity of socializing with in about 2-3 minutes post a game. And then I only really get to see their persona as competitors on the field of rugby, which can be very different to the psychology they have as people. So that was one of my first things to make sure, because you don't want to come into a place like that where there's a very established hierarchy of sort of, like real ego. Not in the bad way.
I disagree with you. I think you throw you in all the bells and whistles with you. People would have loved it. I actually think that was another thing that Steve might have been like, maybe we should keep this bloke in just for off field anyway.
What he brings, bands, like vibes.
Not just that, but social media vibes. You could have then hosted all the socials. They could have had you in with the chef, who I'm sure you connected with. I'm guessing you've connected with the chef.
Yeah. Chef was great. Food was lovely. My God, they eat a lot of food. It's incredible. There's so much food. My God. But yeah, calls were fun. Mara just looking at me like I was some kind of moron, a few chromosomes short, trying to tell me what everything was. But we got there. But yeah, training was great. The control of attention, the ability to be on and off was amazing. Like, oh man, it was so fun. It was a really, really unique and cherished experience, which I'll definitely treasure. But that was Thursday, and then Friday was sort of like a sort of chill kind of team run. Be around the boys, lots of eating, as you can imagine, loading up for the great game against the men from Wales.
loading up to run, just like do the warm up, loading up. You were like, you have,
this has happened. What more could happen? You know what I mean? Yeah, anything could happen at this point.
But that is what I was trying to imply to you on the phone. I was like, let's manifest now. We've manifested so far.
Yeah. So then at this point, Ryan, I was sort of trying to poison Trev and Joe's cereals and kind of.
Yeah, this is it. Okay, that was what I want to know.
The wrong people is like a Tom and Jerry episode, you know, like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. The wrong people kept drinking them. I was taking out the wrong individuals. Loads of off-team stuff.
I was Faye. What did you do to him by accident?
Yeah. I was in a goddamn the wrong voodoo doll, lads. It was the wrong voodoo doll.
No, not that one.
No, not that one. Yeah, but man, it was so awesome, boys.
Who did you room with, Max?
I was just when you're in that hotel, you get your own room.
Oh, swanky.
It was nice.
They're so looked after, aren't they, mate?
Gosh, they're very well looked after. It's awesome.
Mark, do you know the first thing I said, by the way, when he also told me, I was like, and obviously after doing the thing with Pollock and Freeman, I was like, maybe, like, if anyone's going to do it, should I give Pollock a call and see if he could take someone out for us? Like, we can maybe get someone to
get the maniac to do something.
We just need a maniac to maim someone.
But the boys,
Wait, Max, in the training session, right? Because obviously it's going through your head. First things first, it looked really natural. I've seen some stuff out on the socials, and you're just chatting away with like Ben Earl and Sam Underhill, and you're holding court, you're making people laugh. I can imagine a bit like first day of school, but you happen to know, some of the prefects. Do you know what I mean? Genji.
Yeah, I know.
Ben
Earl,
I know. Sam Underhill. Yeah. So you're sort of there, you're in, you're fine.
Yeah.
But in the actual training session, are you not also trying to show all the coaches and Steve Borthwick, your scrummaging ability? So are you not being that academy guy who you're breaking the fucking golden rule of training?
Just tell the truth. How did scrums go? Yeah, that's what we're basing.
I can't talk about training. Yeah.
Oh, he's dished him up. Mark, he's dished him up. Max,
no, I didn't.
Do it, Ryan.
We talk about anything else. I just can't talk about training.
Yeah, Mark. God,
sorry, Mark. Off air, I can talk to you about it.
It's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Give me a bit of the sense of, because you were like, it felt such a good group of men, and it felt really collegiate. What is it like, though? Because some of the kind of, I guess, not the older guys, but the guys who've got more caps under their belt than maybe some of the younger boys, the Pollocks, the Freemans, the kind of the Saints, young tyros coming through. How did you feel the blend worked between the guys who've been there, done it, been around the block, and then the younger guys coming through?
It's an immaculate balance, Mark. It's an immaculate balance. The Saints boys man. They did tickle me. Like the sort of the chemistry between Freeman and Pollock and Finn Smith was superb. It was very fun to watch. I enjoyed myself immensely. Obviously chatting to Marcus Smith, he was great. Tom Curry was a very interesting person. He was reading up on horticulture and finches, so the migratory patterns of birds. So he's really he's getting into his own into his horticulture and ornithology.
Who was that? Sorry?
I was like, right, that's interesting. Tom Curry, yeah. How fascinating.
Oh no, hold on, Max. Please don't tell me you took your fucking Orcs Warhammer with you. Don't.
No. I did show some of the boys my newly painted.
What?
Oh no!
I didn't take it with me. I just had photos. Look! I even did the dynamite at the back.
That's like a third. That's like a third date. That's like a sort of second round of the Six Nations count.
He's in there. The boys are laughing at his jokes. Everyone's, he's getting too comfy. Guys, you want to see my Warhammer? And they're like, oh,
there we go. Right, I was too comfy by this point. Yeah, but
was like, what? Sorry, what was that? Right, fucking he's out.
Fucking.
Did you see Joe Hayes though doing the tour of Girona as well, like on social media?
Yeah, how good! He's great. Yeah, he was wonderful. Obviously, catching up with Sam Underhill and Benny was a lot of fun, just reminiscing and stuff. Then I got some good debriefs on the Eddie Jones era with Marcus and Slady and Tom Curry. It was very, very amusing.
And how well did you recruit for the podcast?
Oh, I've built some great bridges, lads. Yeah, I think we're good.
Hey,
I think
we
we're
care
very
about.
good. Yeah, I think we'll be flooded with guests of the most high of caliber in rugby. But yeah, boys.
Before we carry on, and I will forget, obviously you talked about the bond between Freeman and Pollock, and the golf episode went out this week, Freeman and Pollock on Scrum and Scratch, which is also collaborated with More Than Nothing. So go in there, lean into the comments. You can actually win this England shirt. It's getting signed by the boys this weekend. I should have given it to Max to get him to sign it. So lean in there. But you look at those two, and they are the future. They are the generation that is coming through at England rugby. They're hilarious, aren't they, Max? They're completely nuts.
Mate, so fun. Like Freeman's also incredibly charismatic. He's just a lot of fun to be around, both of them. It's quite infectious. And then Dingwall's a lot like quieter, but also just such a lovely man. And then Ferbs is there as well. It's Saints got something cooking culture wise. That's a hell of a place to be. They're great. They're great crack, all of them.
The reason I say that is because myself and you, Max, from the episode, have been thrust into a competition. There is another podcast, The Love of Rugby, which some of the people may listen and hear, but Ben Youngs and Dan Coles want to take on Maul or Nothing, myself and Max Laheath.
No, you have to hold my hand again. I'll get on the driving range. I'll get on the driving range.
I'm hoping Dan Coles is as bad as you, Max. I don't know why. I just guess he is, but I think there's a good fit there. So if you want to see that happen, followers of our podcast, lean into the comments, let us know, because they've messaged.
Brilliant.
The competition is on, Max. We need to get you better at golf.
Yeah, I'm down. If that's what it takes, I'll do it. I will do it. I'll get down to the ranges for you, bro.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget about it because I was laughing at that. I thought, this is going to be good.
There's got to be a question, Max, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners want to know this, but it would be the one thing I believe I would care about, in the sense of all I would want is all the stash and none of the crash, really, with actually having to go out and play any rugby. How much amazing England gear have you been gifted and now able to wear proudly?
Yeah, I've got a few good bits. I got like the warm up jacket. It's got my name on it and stuff, like the anthem coat. Yeah. That's a nice touch. That's a nice touch. That was lovely. Yeah, I got some good bits, but like all the training kit you sort of have in the house, so you don't take that with you. But I've got all the leisure wear and stuff, so yeah, it's lovely. This quite fetching hoodie. Yeah, Castrol's actually really really lovely brand. Yeah, it's really well made.
Did you? Yeah, you should have stolen some of the training kit.
Yeah, I was thinking about that now in hindsight, right? I was like,
whoops, it was in my bag.
Oh no, I took some.
No.
It's not like they but like, yeah.
You guys have got loads.
You got, it was like shelves of this stuff. Yeah.
Guys, we also need to take a quick second to thank our sponsors for this week. We're back with Nord. I hope all of you last week with their sister company Saley had bought your eSIMs. We had a lot of funny comments about people having affairs. If you have had an affair thanks to a sort of global SIM card that is slightly less traceable, I guess, let us know in the comments. If you want to slide into DMs, you want to be a bit more private about it, we will read it out.
Mark, on that, we do need to give the code out again, because I went on to the More or Nothing thing, and there's a lot of people asking for the code. What is the Saley code? So we need to drop that.
It will put it in the. It is in the description box. But Maul, MAUL, the same as our code for NordVPN. So if if that as I said, the affair's gone. If the affair's gone badly and you decide you just want a bit of you time in your bedroom, then obviously smash up the NordVPN deal that we've got for you. 4 extra months on a 2-year plan. Don't need to put any of those pesky details, and just the code is MAUL, and very very good for. I used it to watch all the matches this week through Stan Sport. Actually, I love the comment. I just quite enjoy the.
You didn't even bother tuning into your old mate Wilson, Premier Sport, first time ever presenting, boys, in the studio, and Mark's not even used his NordVPN to try and watch me. You could have pretended you're in Ireland. You could have set up as if you're in Ireland or the UK.
Is Premier Sports free in Ireland? No, I'd have to pay for it.
I thought you did have it. But anyway, if you did want to watch it from somewhere else, you could have done that and you had Premier Sports, because that's what I've done before. But yeah, NordVPN. Naughty boys, naughty boys,
They're the
naughty
naughty
boys.
boys. Hey, actually, Max, just speculate, because I'm guessing, right, if you're in Pennyhill Park or wherever you were, the Richmond Hotel, with all the England boys, there's got to be that slight fear, especially if you've all got your own rooms, that the internet is being somewhat secured and watched.
Yeah.
And you're like, maybe I don't want people, to see what I'm looking at. So it's probably perfect for some of the England fellas to get on Nord and have a good laugh, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Huge advocates of the VPN.
Yeah. Well, Max, you did say that. Max, when he got in, he said the first thing everyone was asking, "Can I get the code? Can I get the code for NordVPN?"
There we go. The classic naughty boys getting hit up for their code again. So that you can have a good laugh. Great. So, anyway, Max, did you have to leave then on Friday, or were you allowed to then go and do the fun on the Saturday?
Talk us through, because you warmed up. You obviously warmed up at Twickenham as well, right?
Did the walk into the stadium off the bus. That was a lot. That was a lot, lads. Yeah.
I can only imagine people seeing you being like, "It's Max Leaf."
Yeah, huge imposter syndrome, but all was well. Yeah, no, I couldn't help. I was just like, oh god. But it was amazing. It was so much fun. And then into it, did the warm up. Also pretty gooey actually. Hell of a warm up. Goes quick. And then did some post match, sort of post kickoff conditioning with the boys.
Yeah, hold on a minute, because I saw this on social media. That is a disgrace. Is that where it started to creep in? You're like, oh, they're making me do fitness. Maybe they do want to keep me in camp.
Potentially, right? But yeah,
but then to make you do extra fitness, to then fob you off out of order, Wolford. I can't believe they made you do extra fitness. And I did see you did look a little bit slow.
I was just staying behind. I was just like, I'll just truck it. You never want to be ahead. You just want to just stay right in the wings. It's only the first couple of sets, big fella.
But then showered and changed then on the bench with the boys?
Yeah, I was sitting with Slady, just chewing the cud. He was talking me through everything. It was class. It was very educational. He was a great guy to have around, actually. Because I'd never really spoke to him before, and I spent a lot of time with him, and he was just such a brilliant guy, just lovely man. Got really into the weeds of it all. It's a lot of fun, actually. It really is, like, really putting like a personality to the face, especially guys you've sort of played against for so long. You never really got to go under that sort of persona, the veneer of the competitor. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And Theo Dan as well. He was great, sage-like young man. I told them I told Theo how old I was. He was shocked. He was like he's like, nah, don't believe it. There's not a chance. There's not even a chance you're that old. But yeah, it was awesome. And then jumped on the bus. Bus was fun. I was sitting next to Freeman. And we were trying to all the boys obviously just had this big win. Oh no, let's go back to the changing room.
Yeah.
Let's give us the whole. Give us the whole
change room as well. Like I've been in there. It's a change room, isn't it?
Yeah. So big change room. Boys just Murph making lots of food. Little team song. As you can see on social media. Jack Knoll was there. That was lovely.
As well?
No drinks. First game of the week. Yeah. Don't worry, I had one at the hotel. It's all good, boys.
But hold on, there was no beer in the changing room at all.
Not as far as I could tell. But yeah, and then if you game's gone, but these things happen. No, maybe there was. I can't remember.
There has to be. Game's gone. Otherwise,
got a thank you for coming down. There's sort of thank yous all round. Ended up just flying into Benno as my sort of parting gift to the squad. Got some good laughter. Then we're back on the bus onwards to Pennyhill. I'm sitting next to Freeman. I'm basically in the nucleus of the Saints boys, so I'm sitting with Furbank.
But where did you sit? Like, how far back on the bus did you go?
I was very, very self-aware about this, right? So I just
Yeah.
sat sort of in the diplomatic territory of the middle,
In the middle, yeah, it's a safe zone.
middle,
People-
The Switzerland.
Paint Warhammer.
I look back there and I could see like Jamie, George, and Ellis and Mara. I was like, yeah, don't sit up there.
Yeah.
That's the sort of the squad fathers. And I was chuckling heartily. It was like me, Underhill, Furbank, Freeman, Pollock. Very, very amusing. All sorts was discussed. And then boys were trying to like figure out their captions for their post-game sort of Instagram posts. It was very insightful. I was enjoying myself. To be fair, Underhill was sort of the architect of most of these. There's some good ones.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and then me and Freeman got on ChatGPT to figure out one for his. He was talking about like, what was the one I liked, but he didn't put it up. It was some scoreline, but not as good as the jawline or something like that. But he wouldn't put it up. That'd have been so good.
So they make you feel completely not like the sort of +1 date type thing. You were there, integrated, feeling a part of the squad the whole time.
Oh yeah, mate. It was awesome. Didn't feel like fruit and veg at all. Didn't feel like a kind of hanger on
But
at all.
Can I just say this? And whilst we laugh and we joke, and I'm so happy you got to go in there and experience it, Max. But you're a store of the Prem. Like you've been around the block, mate. Like the people respect you. You're coming in. You're not a young buck. It's like, but I just love the fact that you still, even the way you are, I still go in there and you're like, this is amazing. This is brilliant. A lot of people try and act cool. Nah, it was fine, but it's
Oh mate, it was sick. Yeah, I don't like using cliches, but there were times where I was like, yeah, just doing this now. I'd probably pinch yourself at some point again. Yeah, it was awesome, man. And then we ended up going back to Penny Hill. Nice feed, some chin wags, and then just chilled out.
And so hold on, and then
I was trying to drive.
What, a night out?
Yeah, because all the boys in there,
Where
like,
we going, lads?
all the wives and girlfriends were there. But obviously, I was sitting with Guy Pepper and Pollock, and obviously, my lady wasn't here, so I was like, excellent. I'm with the two bachelors, I'm with Guy Pepper and Henry Pollock, face of English rugby, both hot property. I could live vicariously through them this evening. I was like, and I was being the devil on Pollock's shoulder. I was like, Pollock, this is boring. Let's go out. So I was like, let's go out now. 40 minutes, we'll be in Fulham. Woof.
Yeah. And what? So nobody went out.
Jamie George walks past and goes, game's gone, mate. I was like,
I can't believe
through the
it, no
words
one
of
went
what
out.
it said this day, Jamie. But yeah, but all of it, though, it didn't matter. Do you know what I mean? It was awesome.
It sort of tells you where England are compared to Scotland, because I think they all went out in the piss in Rome. No, they didn't.
When in Rome, Ryan.
Fake news.
But yeah.
Greatest sorrows, boys. Sorrows. Well, Max, I am so happy it happened. And you know what? You never know. You never know. Someone else could get injured, and we could see you back.
You've been in there. You've had the taste. You've shown them what you can do. And you know what? The sheer volume, genuinely, the sheer volume of messages. And I think Ryan could probably attest to this as well, but not just on our socials, where loads of people, it slowly dripped through in the week. You know, The Guardian sort of mentioned one line on you having been added in, then suddenly a couple more papers, then a couple of photos, then it's in on the socials. And the number of comments that we've had, the number of texts I've had from friends and people who listen to the pod and family and stuff being like, hang on, is he there? It was who did you tell first? Did you tell Loz or your dad?
No, I told Loz, and then I told Dad, and then I think I told Ryan and Les.
I was like, I was fucking buzzing.
Because I was trying to talk to Ryan. I can't remember what we talked about, and it was like he wasn't listening to me, and he was just waiting for me to finish talking. He's like, mate, I've got something to tell you.
Do you know what it is, though, Max? Like, I pride myself on being the vault, and he did say to me, like, listen, just like this needs to, and I'm like, I need to. And
yeah, but then
even to the point where I did that live podcast on Thursday night, and I was like, he's definitely in. And then you got Jim and Goody going something about the Heath, and he wouldn't have made it in there. And I'm like, fucking bastards, he's in there.
I know stuff. I know stuff. Yeah.
Jim was like, oh, yeah, but apparently someone saw Laheath on a flight to Italy. Is he Italian? And I was like, what do you mean? They went, oh, apparently he's getting flown into Italy camp. And I'm like, someone's got their wires crossed there, boys. He's in someone's camp.
Whispers. Yeah.
It was so strange.
We are delighted to be joined by the one and only Louis Lynagh after a stunning victory for Italy over Scotland. Louis, on the score sheet as well, doing amazing things. How was it?
Yeah, I mean, it was just it was an amazing feeling. It was first game of the Six Nations. Obviously heart was racing beforehand anyways, but to get the victory in that fashion with that sort of weather as well, it kind of shows how the Italian team has progressed as well, because in the past, Italy was known as strong starters and then kind of tailed off towards the end of games. But it's it was awesome to get the win, and especially against Scotland.
Oh, there we go. He's rubbing it in already. I'm going to call you Luigi because that's what Seb was calling you. Is that your Italian name?
Yeah, that's the Italian the name I've been given. So it's honor. I'm part of them now.
Listen, it was always going to be a worry for us, and I'll be honest. You look at that weather, and you think this suits the Scots even more. And I did see Jim saying this game big Jim Hamilton saying the game should have been called off.
Come on, Jim. Mate, the Italians are used to playing in the sun. We should not be beating Scotland in that sort of weather. That looked like a regular Saturday up in Glasgow, Edinburgh.
It was tough for me and Donkey Weir. I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff from Premier Sports of the weekend, but we had Seb Negri celebrating in his boot and Donkey Weir with his head in his hands, just like almost crying.
Yeah. No, I caught that once the game was over. After a few hours, I looked through all the reactions, and one of the best ones was that one. It was Donkey Weir just in an absolute hole, in the corner, and Seb, the type of guy he is, just running around the studio. It was it was brilliant to see.
You've never actually lost in the Six Nations, is that correct?
Yeah, no, I was hoping someone would bring that up. No, it's no, touch wood. Yeah, 3 out of 3 now, so it's pretty cool. And I mean, if you count, my first actual week with Italy was the week of the France game, which Italy drew. So technically, as long as I've been involved with Italy, that's all I'm saying.
That's it. Totally unbeaten.
No, but
100% record over the Scottish as well, mate. 2 out of 2 wins over Scotland.
I know. I don't know what's happening. Maybe I'm just the bogeyman, but no, it was it's just always good to get a game. Obviously, last year was quite a disappointing year in that sort of respect, where 2 weeks before the Six Nations squad was announced, I hurt my knee and missed the Six Nations, and it was pretty tough to come through that. But this year's started off well, so hopefully touch wood, we can keep on going. We've got a big game against Ireland this week, and hopefully we can show more of ourselves as well than just playing sort of in a pool.
If there's a time to start well, it is in that game, because obviously the weather came in. 2 early tries. You took that first one, lovely. Who was it? Was it Brex that just puts it on the boot and the up from you?
Yeah, exactly. Nacho. Yeah, it was actually a set move that we'd talked about it during the week. It would a 3-phase move, and we'd go one way, and then Senso, sorry, the Italian came out with me in there, same way again, and we would send most of the team back to the left, because we kind of thought the backfield would follow where our 10 goes, and it happened exactly how it was, and there was space in the backfield, and luckily Nacho saw the back space, and otherwise if he'd given the pass, I was way too flat. I would have just caught man and ball, but he put it through, and I aquaplaned from about 5 meters out, so it was pretty as tries go, it was pretty easy.
Because that was it. Like I was impressed by the way you started those 2 tries, and me and Danke sat in the studio going, oof, like there's a way that Scotland will maybe get back into this game. But then when the weather started happening, the mistakes started coming from Scotland. And the thing I was really careful of, Mark, and you'll be proud of me now I was presenting for the first time, is I didn't want to talk about how bad Scotland were, because it sort of takes away from how bloody good you boys were. And you've got to give it to Italy, like the passion. Has that seeped into your bones yet? You see people like Canone, Lamaro, like, mate, how good was Ferrari as well? Like, those guys are just gladiators.
Well, exactly. Like for a tie head prop to get man of the match, he had to have done a lot. I'm a winger. I don't know what's going on in the scrum, but I know we got a few penalties, and maybe Max could help me out with the fine details of it. But everyone performed amazingly well, especially in the forwards. We went through the stats today. Nico Canone completed 22 tackles. There were people on 19, 17, 16. We actually made 200 tackles in the game and missed 16, I think. So, it's like you said, it wasn't the game to throw the ball around and stuff like that. But yeah, the amount of passion and heart that was shown in the team is, before I came into the Italy team, I thought I was quite a passionate, competitive player in respect, growing up in school and through club and stuff. And then I came here and it's like a whole different level. It's, we've got a lot of people who would basically would die for the badge. So it's handy having them on your side and not playing against them.
There's something in it, Max, isn't there? When you could, you'll agree with me, when you watch the Italians, Max, in the national anthems, you're like, oh.
It's them and the Argies. You could it just kind of bleeds through their faces, don't it? The aura is so real. But yeah, I wonder when the last time a tight head got man of the match in the Six Nations was. That's crazy.
No, it's crazy. It was brilliant. I don't know if there's camera shots of it, but when it was announced that he got man of the match, all the front row forwards were just. It was like all the boys.
Just give it the thing on them. Oh, it was so
literally,
cool.
it's so good because he's such a nice guy as well. Very, quiet and goes about his work. He's played 70 times for Italy, and he said his last man of the match was for Benetton in 2016 or something. So it was like. Doesn't come around often, but it's massive credit to how the forwards went about it, because I think it was a clip of Ronan O'Gara saying I think it was a Scotland put-in, and he said, look out, here's a Scotland penalty, and then the ball goes in and Italy just go that way, and it's just commentator's curse. But it was massive performance.
It's ironic, isn't it? His name's Ferrari, Max, but he's like an old diesel truck.
Oh, mate, straight on the team, though. That's no mean feat. It's good. Like, Schumann was under Ferguson. You and Ashman, serious chops on those boys. They had the bet. Yeah, Fischetti was all over it as well.
Apparently, the last time, guys, there was a prop. And this is according to ChatGPT. I've just done it very quickly. It was in 2019, and it was also against Scotland. Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing. It was also against Scotland, and it was Demba Bamba for France against Scotland in 2019. There we go. So describe what happened kind of post-final whistle. I mean, we saw the celebrations. We saw what it meant. From your perspective, the direct bit into there, then into the changing room, and then the sort of celebrations.
Art cafe, maybe?
No, it was the less said about that, the better, I reckon. But it was pretty amazing. It was very different to 2 years ago when we won, because that win 2 years ago, in my debut, was the first home win in I think 9 years or something like that. So it's in the Six Nations, that is. And it was this sort of like massive relief of pressure from, it was my first game for Italy, but like to see Seb and all these boys in tears and on the floor, I was like, Jesus, this really meant a lot to all these people. And, I'd like to say we come a long way from that. After the whistle, obviously we were very happy and, relief and, winning in that way. Most of us were just happy to get off the field. So it was still, pissing it down. So it was nice to get off the field. But yeah, the Gonzalo has been very good with the team. We celebrated the win well, and we had a good debrief of it. And then it kind of today coming in, and also yesterday, it was more like, yeah, we won, but it's next job sort of mentality. We don't want to be this team that celebrates a win like we've won the World Cup. It's just the start of this really long tournament, and we've got Ireland this weekend in Ireland. It's not going to get any easier. So kind of just get back to work and get on it, because if we can do more than just win one game in the Six Nations, it's keep building on it, and we can rewrite more history instead of just celebrating the 1 or 2 wins in the Six Nations.
There's must be a feeling there with the guys like Brex and who's down in Toulon, Menoncello, I think, off to Toulouse. You've obviously got Montijuani, who's playing in Lyon. So you're starting to have players spread out a little bit more, going and get experience. That's got to be part of it as well, in terms of you've got a serious squad now that can go and do something. At least you're starting to do something with it. Unlike Scotland, we keep saying it and then it doesn't really happen.
No, but it's exactly like you said. It's we've got these different players that play all over Europe, really. You've got a few boys who play in the Premiership. Steve Varney, who's actually my roommate, is just over here somewhere. You got Ross Vincent, and Zambo. They all play at Exeter. You've got the French contingent, like Ange, Nacho, Tommy to next year, and all of that sort of stuff. And then there's a big group of Italian players who play at Benetton and Zebra, like myself. And Benetton and Zebra are now, upping their level. It's got good coaching, got a good group of players, and it's a bit like the Italy team. It's no longer just being competitive. It's going out there, pushing for top 8 playoffs and pushing teams in Europe and seeing how far we can go. And this year, especially in Benetton, we're got our sights on the Challenge Cup, and we really think we can win that competition. So it really does help having players from all over Europe giving their input on the team, because the more the more diverse sort of rugby you can get, I think the better.
Let's not forget that they had probably 7 players injured for this one. You mentioned Varney, Vincent, the amount of players that were missing as well.
Negri.
So you actually look at the pressure that was put on Gonzalo, and then the fact that you boys have gone out and performed. You've got to look at it and go, fair play to you, fair play, boys.
How proud would your mum have been? For those who don't know, Louis, your mum is Italian. Your father, obviously, very decorated Australian rugby player. Talk us through how the family was after that win.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's always hard, after the games, trying to find where your family is in the crowd, and then trying to get through the crowd to the family. Eventually I got to them, and mum was the first one to give me a hug, and they were both crying and stuff like that. So it's always pretty special. I also got a text from my granddad, who I live with in Treviso, and he was also over the moon. And it was an amazing thing to have done. And like I said, hopefully there's many more moments like that, and hopefully my parents can come to this weekend as well if I'm playing.
Mark, I know you'll have a lot of questions, more like serious ones. But firstly, I know you mentioned my gaming chair, which is my son's gaming chair. I've heard that. I think I saw some clips today on social media. You're an avid gamer, were you?
Yeah. Those clips have come just in by the looks of it. Yeah, I've actually got a gaming laptop right in there. Hold on, there it is.
Oh, so you're a serious gamer. You're still heavily into it.
Yeah, I'm very much still playing. Yeah, it's kind of been like, my parents hate it, but I've been doing it, playing since I was like 9 years old.
What's the go-to right now?
Right now, Call of Duty. That's my that's my bread and butter.
Advice. Yeah. Oh, really? You're not like Fortnite man, or?
Oof, Fortnite. No, not anymore. I dabbled when I was 16, 17, but kind of went away from it. But it's I love gaming. I love that sort of aspect about. Obviously, I moved abroad from England, where I grew up with all my friends and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice to game with them, because it's like not quite going on a night out with them, but like seeing them. Yeah. And it's you play several hours a night with them, and it's it's really fun.
Do you know what? It is funny, because the amount of, through lockdown, everyone was obsessed with it, weren't they? And it was seriously obsessed with it. The amount of rugby players that I chatted to online playing Call of Duty and Fortnite back then. Favor, the hooker, he was obsessed with as well, wasn't he? I remember.
That's what they said. That I've been talking to Monty here, that when he was at Benetton throughout lockdown, throughout those years, like 20 of the Benetton boys would create the creative Fortnite mode or whatever, and they'd all play against each other, and it'd be absolute chaos. You know, you've got some good players, you've got some absolutely terrible players, everyone just screaming at each other. I play a lot of Warzone with Andy Uren, Max. He's I tell you what, he is awful. Terrible. You know, he might as well. He might as well not have any hands. Honestly, it's quite tough.
The thumbless wonder. Yeah.
Or just playing with his hands, no fingers. Would you say you're the best? Are you the best in the group?
I don't like proclaiming myself as the best, but it's, you know,
But
I've yet to be challenged. I mean, I'll humbly say yes. So,
how do people work these streaming things? Because I've been saying to Max, we've got to do something where we go on and do like a live stream where us idiots can play against other people on Call of Duty.
Yeah, people tell me I should start streaming, but I'm just worried that I'm gonna say something stupid. It's also a lot of hassle, you know. I just want to get on and play some Call of Duty with my friends, really. But to be honest, I am getting closer and closer to doing it because like Louis Lynagh, me and him play Call of Duty a lot.
You mentioned you stayed with your granddad, and me and Max will. I know you'll be up for listening to this, Max. What's the best thing is it your nonna and your Italian roots? What's the best dish that they cook? Just give me the best possible dish they could cook for you.
My granddad has a pasta making machine, so it would be a homemade like spaghetti or tagliolini, and probably make a carbonara from that. You know, you get the parmesan.
Just give it to it's in Italian.
It's the parmigiano. It's just the classic. I used to have it all the time as a pre-game meal. It's I just can't get over it.
What do you drink in the changing room? Obviously, it's tenants in Scotland. By the sounds of it, England don't drink after the game, which is horrendous. What is it? Is it like something quite, you know, limoncello or something in the changing room after?
It would be Peroni. Few Peronis, because I think we have a Peroni sponsorship, and then there's also when we go back to the hotel, there's we have like a debrief, like a kind of a beer together as a whole staff and team players, and on the side it's like a bucket of ice with the beers in it. And then next to that is all the champagne and prosecco glasses, if anyone wants that as well. So it's like it couldn't get more Italian. It's like you either have the beers or you have the prosecco.
That's outstanding.
It's so good. Obviously, you looked elated with your try on Saturday, and you compare that though to the feeling of, and I rewatched it because it was just fabulous. To watch the Prem final tries that you scored as well. Describe the kind of difference between the two, because you know there was a lot on the line representing your country, and yet that entire season with Harlequins was nuts.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things that it's so hard to choose from. People always ask me like, what day was better? Was it the Premiership win with Quins and the 2 tries, or was it your debut scoring that try against Scotland, or now even this game scoring a try against Scotland? It's you know, it's amazing. You know, even to this day, thinking about that whole season with Harlequins, and we had a terrible start to the season. Coach leaves midway through. We then suddenly start winning all these games. We scraped into the playoffs. We played Bristol, who are, you know, clearly were the best team of the season. That was a mega team. Like literally the Galacticos of the Premiership of that. And you know, the way it went to extra time, you know, one that I still get into Andy about that game, by the way. It was brilliant. It's brilliant every time.
He's a despicable human. He deserves everything. All the grief you give him, he deserves. Yeah, give it.
No, and but then the Premiership, you know, you'd look at the semi-final and think, oh, you can't really get a game much better than that one. And the next week it happens again, basically, you know, goes down to the wire. And that sort of 10-15 minute period where I scored the 2 tries, it was kind of just a blur. I sometimes don't even really believe it happened. So onto your point is, even though that the way it happened with Quins, there's just something about playing for your country, and it's just a whole different sort of emotion. But yeah, if I had to choose between the two, I really couldn't. At this stage, they're both as good as each other.
The atmosphere at Stadio Olimpico looked incredible at the weekend. It really did. And I can't help but think that might have helped you boys a little bit more. Even though there was, 20 to 30,000 Scots in Rome?
Yeah, I know. It was mental. We were driving into the game, and I was looking out the window. I was like, "Oh, there's some Italian fans." And then all of a sudden, the closer you got to the stadium, it was just sea of purple, just Scotland fans everywhere. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I hope the rain brings in some Italy fans, because, as you said, the Scots fans are used to the rain, so
They're
they probably
used
were
to it.
about to get get in the stands and take their shirts off or something."
You well and truly ruined the party for Scotland, so congratulations.
I've read that you're quite competitive with your brothers. How is it watching Tom play against the British and Irish Lions, starting at fly half against them? How did it feel?
I didn't quite realize how big it was until the moment sort of came, and it was sort of, I think it's the first father-son that has played in a Lions series ever. So there was that going into it, and then obviously, playing against the Lions. It's not a small thing. It's, in Brisbane at Suncorp, sold out stadium. Yeah, it was, and sitting down and watching the game, I've never really felt it before. I was like kind of really nervous, and every time he touched the ball, I was like, I wanted him to do something good. And then Tom Curry smacked him, and I was like, oh, Jesus, oh no. Come on, man, please don't do that. What a terrible bloke. Why would he do that? Oh no. And then it got worse in the third test when Sheehan knocked him out. So obviously it wasn't like done in bad blood or anything like that, but when you have a sibling that's playing at a level like that, and something bad happens to him, you kind of wish that you were there to play with him, or just to be there. It was a shame I couldn't make it to Australia to watch it, and Dad was there for all 3 tests, so at least he was there. But yeah, hopefully one day I get the chance to play with him and my youngest one as well. It'd be cool to potentially play with both of them at some stage.
What would it be like if you come up against him, though, an Italy-Australia match?
Yeah, no, well, it potentially might happen. We're playing Australia this summer, so it's keep an eye out for that one. It'll be fun though. I'm going to ask the coach for a move that sends me directly into him. So
straight down his throat.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, run it straight with him. No, it would be cool. I think it would be a lot of fun, and like we said, I think in the moment we'd both be quite competitive, but afterwards, I think it'd be quite funny if we caught each other at the bottom of a ruck. It would throw back to the times in the living room playing like sort of rugby in a 5-meter space, and I would always end up hurting one of the two, and my dad would come running in and screaming at me, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. They just fell over and started crying. It's not my fault. I honestly don't know. I think, they would say they're supporting both of us. Dad might lean towards the Australia side, but it's it'd be quite funny if we had Dad supporting Australia, Mum Italy, and then it'd be like Mum and Dad versus brothers as well. They'd probably hope for a draw, but that won't be on the cards, I don't think.
I was hoping for a draw at the weekend, mate. I'll tell you that by the end. Please, just a draw, do, because we could have had the opportunity to either take the points.
Yeah, drop goal.
Tackle hadn't happened. Problem was you couldn't do the drop goal like we did back in 2014, because if the ball dropped on the floor, it's not bouncing. Is it? There you have another excuse as to why we didn't manage to even get the draw. But Louis, we've got to leave you to it. Please, 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 for Scotland, for everyone here in this beautiful nation, please beat Ireland this weekend, because I'm going to have to do a forfeit. If Zebo ends up above me, that's the only hope we've got. So please go over there and do the job against Ireland. We'd all be. I'm sure everyone is backing Italy that weekend. Except
that would be chaos.
No, well, it would be amazing. Yeah. You know what? That's the game plan. So hopefully we can go and replicate it.
If you beat them, you got to call us from Dublin when you're down in a pint of Guinness. You promise?
I will promise that. I'll call you in down 2 for you.
Boom.
Legend.
All right. No,
Louis, thank you so
very
much for your time,
lads.
mate.
No, cheers, guys. Thank you very much. It was a lot of fun.
We'd like to take a moment to interrupt this special broadcast, our lovely podcast, to thank our wonderful sponsors from day one, the great, the majestic, the whiskey alchemists themselves, Wolf Craig Distillery. Where can you find them, Ryan, and what special products can our wonderful listeners purchase?
Well, you will do your normal shout at the end of this, but it is wolfcraig.com. Head over there, and boys, they've got a beautiful little 14-year-old, which has been distilled in a triple sherry cask. So jump over, grab yourself something like that. Or Mark prefers a gin, a little gin and tonic, although he's told me he's off the booze at the moment because he's kicked it too hard. But Wolf Craig, they've been with us right from the beginning, boys. They are the reason that we're really here because we wouldn't be able to do it without them. Mark, finish it off.
Guys, head over to wolfcraig.com and pick something up nice or buy something nice for somebody else. We love you, Wolf Craig.
Yeah, what was that, Mark? What was that?
It was more
like
of a ripple. No, it's like a small, like a young wolf, I guess.
Okay, thanks very much.
There we go. So Louis Lynagh giving us the inside track from that fabulous Italian victory in Rome over Scotland. Now let's hand over to our very own Ryan Wilson, who, unfortunately, I think it's a premonition from every time Zebes has been on the show. Simon Zebo has been on the show. He's called it. He called it in 24. He's called it in 26. And give us the Scotland take, and then at the end of that, I'll give you some of the potential ideas that have been thrown out for what you have to do for forfeit. Go.
It's funny you say that because, I mean, it's not that difficult, is it? You pretty much just look at, if you come on during the Six Nations and bag Scotland, you sort of come out on top. That's how it seems to work at the moment. So it wasn't great, was it, boys? It wasn't great. Oh, my goodness. Like, oh, Max, I don't know how much you will have seen live because you were busy warming up, but it was bad. It was bad. It was, like I said, like you got the one thing I want to do, and that's what I was really keen to make sure we got across on the TV is you don't want to talk down to Italy. Like they are getting better, and you look at what they've done. But with that squad, with everything that's chatted about, boys, this is it. Tooney is fully under the pump because I said it last week. Coming third would be okay. Second is like, that's a positive. I reckon we struggle to get fourth. But the weirdest thing is, and I don't know why I'm saying it, and actually I've spoken to a fair few England fans and England boys that are coming up. Some of the boys that are coming up from Sarries, etc., and they're going, oh, yeah, but this isn't good for England, the fact that you just got beaten by Italy. There's got to be some sort of reaction. If we don't see a reaction this weekend and we don't get something out of the Calcutta Cup, which, well, let's face it, like I've seen so many memes, so many social media clips of people saying, oh, it doesn't matter as long as we win the Calcutta Cup. That's pretty much all we've really got to hope for now. So what does he do? Does he change the team up? Does he... Like, I like the team. I like the team going into it. There was a lot of mistakes, asked for a bit of a positive performance from them, but we got, nothing near that. Nothing near a positive performance.
Would that be the most Scottish thing ever, though, to back up a defeat against Italy in the opening round with a win against England, who are, sort of joint favourites of the whole competition with France? It feels like it would get you guys back to a place where we still don't know what the Scottish side is really capable of, in as far as it can fly high and it can really, dive pretty deep as well.
It would be the most Scottish thing. It like easily would be the most Scottish thing. I mean, I was trying to make a few of the boys that were playing feel better. Remember, there was an A game, right, over in Italy, which was a draw, I think. Yeah, a draw. And like there's Johnny Gray in there, Dan Lancaster, like some of the players that were playing in that A game, there's some good boys in there. They've then gone to the game in Rome. Bearing in mind, they would have probably gone on the beers the night before, potentially gone and had a couple of wines in the afternoon before they head to the game to go and watch. And suddenly they're sat on a flight back with the whole team coming back with Gregor Townsend. Oh, it would have been a dark, dark place. But I was trying to make some of the boys feel better by saying, listen, we beat Ireland, and I think the opening game or something like that, and everyone was like, this is Scotland's year, and then we lost 61 points to 21 against England. So it's just, it's tough. It's tough to take, boys. It's like, for once, I'd sort of try and be neutral in the studio in terms of Dunkey and Seb Negri, but yeah, I think Gregor Townsend now is under a hell of a lot of pressure. That's it's just a given. Everyone up here is saying, surely this is time.
Well, we're not going to try and pile any more onto that. But Max, I would like to get your thoughts on something slightly lighter than Gregor Townsend's Scotland future. Here are some of the examples of ideas we've had, Maxi Boy, for what Ryan and or Zeebs' forfeits should be. I believe the bet was whoever finishes above in the whole Six Nations. Is that correct?
Yes. Bearing in mind I have to do a forfeit for that bloody golf episode I did already this week, so I'm being punished twice. But I can only imagine this smug prick in the comments as well, putting his own little things there.
Like,
and then producer Jim jumping in there. let's put this one in. And then,
okay,
then you've got that knob end Gaz John.
Don't stop having grudges to our fabulous listeners, because we love Gaz John for coming in and having some great ideas. Right, first things first, let's put aside all the Maxes for England, because there's a lot of those. Start with the easiest one. Zeeb's in a Scotland shirt for a week. You would be in an Ireland one. Ryan shaves his head. Zebo shaves his moustache, which I felt was kind of not quite fair in many respects. We also had tattoos of the other's face laughing at them. Something permanent.
Yeah, slightly far-fetched, but you never know.
We also had you have to admit that you've always, and I really liked this one, it was you admitting that you actually always have supported England, but live on air. And with no explanation, potentially during the England game.
That's the one. Ma, you don't need to suggest anymore. That's the one.
Okay. And then,
sorry, how does this work then?
Well, Max is going to pick one. I think he's already picked one.
Max is picking it.
Doesn't that make sense?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, do we reckon we go for that one?
Yeah, that could be very amusing.
So I've just got to basically somewhere on air just say, listen, guys, I just want to let you know that I've always supported.
You're not going to believe that on here. I need you to do it when you're presenting for Premier
When you're
Sport.
presenting during like an England game and being like, the fact is, I've always supported England, and it's the sort of, that's why you love this team. Is it, something that would seem as though it's just part of a comment. Casual as that. They'll talk about the cohesiveness of the Saints, what they bring to England, and you'll say, well, that's the reason. I've always supported England, but you can really see why now. This is a team that not just, people who've grown up in England love them, but even neutrals would be huge.
Someone's been thinking about this a lot, haven't they? Somebody has been thinking about it, dreaming about it. Okay, but listen, there's still plenty of time left in this tournament. You never know what can happen. Ireland lose to Italy this weekend, and that's under the pump. Scotland beat England, as we always do, and we'll be all right. We'll be absolutely fine.
Let's move quickly on to...
by the way, so the same goes to Zebo, but who's he doing it for? Scotland. Yeah, nice. Scotland. Yeah. We'll get Zeebs to do it for Scotland. So when I'm next presenting with him, he can say, I've always supported Scotland anyway. I think that'd be easy. Just for the Scotland fans that are listening and watching, let us know what you think about Scotland's performance below. Because I know some of you are very upset. I've had a few texts, a few people sliding into the DMs asking me what I think, but we want to hear what you think, what the fans think as well, because, I think there's quite a lot of people wanting the same thing.
Let's move on to France versus Ireland. And we said it with Zeebs a bit, and I guess he touched upon a slight sort of changing of the guard and a transitional period and players being out. I don't think any of us envisaged what would actually happen, right?
What? Yeah, we both agreed that France were going to dominate Ireland.
To that extent?
Yes. Well, I'm pretty sure that's what we said.
Max, is that how you remember it?
Yeah, I sort of do. I mean, Maybe not
Fair enough.
that profoundly, but I envisioned something like that. The thing is, we had our crystal ball set for this as well. We just did it about a year too early. We were saying that this
We
was
did say it was over
it was
last
a
year,
ticking
and
it was
we
a
had
ticking
that.
time
Yeah.
bomb of kind of guy, because if you look back at that Ireland A game versus England A as well, there's not much coming through either at this point. So
Well, so the
it's
under 20s and the A's of Ireland conceded 50 points, and then obviously this fabulous Irish team that over the years has been so used to success was that first half. I can't think of many more one-sided first halves in a Six Nations or in quite some time.
But let's talk about the referee. This is me trying to claw back some Irish fans, but there was a few dodgy decisions by old Dixon, wasn't there? So not so much the referee, sorry. The TMO, we've always talked about it, how the French control the TMO, how they replay things that they want to replay in the stadium,
they
how
are
they
good at that,
won't
aren't they?
replay things that they don't want to replay. That has been so apparent in this game. It's unbelievable. Do not re-show that. That was forward. Leave it. Probably forward.
It was forward.
But then again, it shows what a magnanimous coach that Andy Farrell. Then they didn't hang their hat on bad refereeing decisions.
No, agree.
Thoroughly outplayed.
No, you can't. They were thoroughly outplayed. Like, it was as comprehensive as I've seen it. I mean, to be fair to the up front scrum time, like I thought Clarkson and Loughman did well. I thought Loughman actually had a pretty solid game out of the Irish forwards. But like, man, it was tough. It was tough. There was a lot going on there, wasn't there? Like Guillard, Michael Guillard. Oh my goodness me. What was that? Where's he come from? The Leon Locke just gallivanting. Man, he got through so much work. And they were just dog carries, just horrible gain line carries. And then he's kind of set up Olivon for his try. He was everywhere. He was brilliant. And then Biberi doing his thing as always, sliding over. He's got the knee slide in, and he's still managed to get.
He's still
over.
but the knee slide and still burnt, like absolutely burning Stockdale, and you're thinking, how is that? He makes everybody else look like they're running in tar. Max, I think you would appreciate this. I saw it, I think, on one of the socials. It's the writer Mick Collins observed, playing rugby against France is like spending 80 minutes being beaten up by a huge bloke who breaks off to do a bit of ballet every now and again.
That's very apt. That's what the forwards were up to. Like Crow, Guillard, as we mentioned. Charles Olivon was brilliant. So brilliant. Like, he's got some kind of test match record for appearances for a forward in terms of scoring. Up front, Jean-Baptiste Gros was very good. Marchand. They were counter-rucking. Their decision-making around the ruck was immense. Like, and it just looked physically like guys like Doris, you used to see going forward. It just, they were just getting nothing out of the carry game. Like, up front, out of that 3-pod bag carry off the edge, they're just not getting any go forward. You used to see like Ireland getting a bit of punch on that, but France completely bullied them there. And from there on in, it was tough. And then once you've got that kind of front foot, that ball foot, a guy like Jalibert, then he started feeling himself. And then Deportier was also doing mad things, like the sort of offloads that were happening. Man, it was just impossible to stop. That's not even to mention this.
But that's what happens when you play pretty much an all Bordeaux back line, right? Except for obviously Ramos and Atasogbe. When they're throwing the ball around, they look like they're playing for Bordeaux.
Yeah, it was that.
Why doesn't that happen for Scotland?
But Scotland's pack didn't earn the right to go forward, whereas France's pack did. I would say if you can get that sort of ball and that kind of power up front, then yeah, you can release that Scottish back line we so tantalizingly want to see. But yeah, France were in bully mode, man. That was bully mode. It was tough. It was very tough. Forward, Timoney, when he came on, was brilliant. He had more impact than most of the Irish pack it had in 70 minutes. He did more in like the 20 he got than most of them. So it'll be interesting to see what Farrell does. Like, where he can't, there's not much. What it's got to be a strategic switch up, because there's not much he can do in regard to personnel. He's got the best Irish players at this point. It's just about maybe rejigging a bit and selecting some guys in different positions, but it's a tricky situation. And I can't it's difficult for people. I see Prendergast getting a lot of heat, but he's the least of their problems. There's lots going wrong there.
Max, did you watch it together with everybody on the Thursday? Did sort of the whole England squad watch it together, or were you watching it sort of individually?
We watched it, most of us together, yeah.
That now is starting to really look like a hell of a finish to the Six Nations. I know we're jumping way ahead of ourselves, but if you're an England player, you're looking at that France performance and thinking, wow, that was like seriously impressive. And France would also probably have watched the way England completely bullied Wales in the first half and made it again a similar situation where the game was kind of done by halftime in both matches. From your perspective, you've been within the squad, the two juggernauts going head to head. What are you thinking?
It's going to be fireworks. It's Le Crunch, and they're both at the top of their tippy top of their powers. They're both in some form. Yeah, I'm going with England. I think there's some serious.
Look at his jumper. Look at his
I'll go with my boys.
Yeah, look at the peck. Look at the rose on that peck.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
But yeah, it's tough. But it's going to be a brilliant game. It's tantalizing. It's going to be very fun to watch. Let's be honest. It's two very, very well matched sides. I think. Obviously, last year France they were off it. They weren't quite there, were they? In that England victory. Do you remember that game? It was weird.
Well, yeah, they deserved to win it in a weird way.
Yeah, they did, because France was so kind of nonchalant and strange. It wasn't them. Well, that can sometimes be the French way, but I don't think they're bipolar as we associate them with, like the noughties and the early 10s. I think this French team's a different beast altogether. And but yeah, it's going to be fun. That's for damn sure. I think watching a guy like Guillard, my God. Yeah, but there's so much to love about that French team. It's brilliant. Backline was crazy good. You got guys like Mavaka coming off the bench. Silly depth at back row. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to watch. And then England obviously had a ton of lines coming off the bench. You got like Cowan Dickey, you got Pollock, who should have scored, but everyone was sort of somewhat happy he got a penalty try because there was no try to his name.
Yeah, he would have been raging with that.
He scored, but he didn't score.
For me, though, England have got so much depth now, so many different strings to their bow. They're not just this one-dimensional team. They've got George Ford, who's just running the show. Dingwall just quietly going about his business. He was so good. Him and Freeman's try should never have been a try. He's got four blokes hanging off him. He's just like a fucking shire horse powering through him.
He's so big. I don't think people get how he's such a big person. I don't think people appreciate how big Tommy Freeman is, and he can move incredibly well. And then Benny Earl in the middle, lads.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Then you've got such a good balance with people like Benno, who, let's face it, hasn't been playing that well for Saracens. Sticking England shot, and he turns up, and he's so good. And then almost his like for like when he comes on, because you see Benno sitting on the wing, finishing the way he does with his little thumbs up. Then you've got Pollock that comes on, and even Alex Coles, I reckon probably one of the most underrated second rows in the Six Nations.
We've been singing his praises on here, lads. He's class. And Chesham's a big freak shire horse running machine as well.
You could tell Atoje wasn't used to being on the bench because he comes on 32nd, he gives away a team yellow. He's like, whoa, what's going on here? You've got to follow the game when you're on the bench, big fella. You've got to follow the game, and you've given away too many penalties. You can't just come on and do that. So that's someone that's not used to it. But they've got depth. They've got different strings to their bow. Yeah, dangerous England, but Scotland still beat them this weekend.
So by that exclamation of laughter, he doesn't take himself too seriously with that proclamation.
Yeah, I'm worried. Boys are worried.
This isn't going to be fun listening, I guess, for any fellow Welshmen out there. But what can Steve Tandy do?
It's game plan. There were moments, Rye, ball in hand.
Mac, you know what? They kept it under 50.
They kept under 50, but the minute they actually played and let Thomas Williams have a crack, have a go, actually, the kicking game was nonsense. It dried up the forwards. There was no economy in terms of work, so the boys were cooked coming back. It was the kicking just wasn't strategic enough out of hand for Wales. I didn't really understand what they were trying to do, and then when it when they did have to play, it was in the wrong areas of the field. I just think they
Yeah.
struggled
The
so much.
onslaught of
with that
pressure
as well.
obviously leads to 2 yellow cards, which, let's face it, they
Yeah.
almost look better with 2 yellows than they did with 15 men, which is always a weird thing. But that
Yeah.
pressure just keeps building up. They're going to give away pens, then they get 2 yellows. I mean, there were so many
The
yellows in the
second
game.
one, I'm a little bit like, that's tough. But
Yeah,
that
Day,
picture's
you could tell he was a bit like, well, hold on a minute. So, yeah, you feel for them. Where can they go from there? We talked about it. They've got the players. I mean, do you know what? We'll tell a lot this weekend, because if England do go and dish Scotland up this weekend, then you look at the game and go, well, actually, Wales did all right for a team that is sort of rebuilding. All will tell this weekend. Who have they got? France at home. Yeah, still going to be tough, isn't it? It's still going to be tough.
It's damage limitation. They just got to get
Under 50 again?
under 50 again. I think this team,
It's so bad with
That's
saying
sad.
that about Wales.
5 years' time, this team will be good, 100%.
Yeah, okay. 5-year plan. 5-year plan. Keep it under 50.
5-year plan. That's what this is right now. It is what it is, right? Especially when you're playing like England and then to France, which are potentially two of like second and third rugby nations in the world, arguably. That's tough.
Boys, let's focus on the last 3 games. They got Scotland, then Ireland, and then Italy. Actually, they could pick 2 wins up there. I'm not going to say who against, but they could pick 2 wins up there. So there's still hope for Wales. If you are a Welshman or a Welshwoman, there is still hope. There is still hope.
Quickly, just enough time to give a big shout out to everybody who's come onto our Fantasy Six Nations. Could you boys please unveil what position you are in, first things first? Ryan, what position are you?
I am 10th at the moment, boys.
Like, fuck you are.
Were you actually?
No, of course he's not. He's fucking 10 times 100.
I am 121st.
You can aim for that top 100, mate. All right, Maxi boy, where are you?
I'm 140th.
Oh, you're going to give him some stick, Mark? Are you going to give him some stick?
How many people
He
are
was
in it?
busy, mate. He was busy. He was busy warming up and potentially playing for England.
I picked mine in the pub, drunk.
Well, that's on you.
Oh my God, my team was really good on paper.
Sorry, Max,
Yeah.
you're what, 100 and...
40th or something.
Yeah, that's shocking, mate. Can I ask why Finlay Bealham got 0 points? Did he not play or something?
No, he actually did.
Well,
He was
what
off
the
the
fuck
bed.
has he been up to? Like, what is he? 0 points.
You go slide into his DMs with some hate for not scoring any points.
Mate.
Come on,
Any
mate.
danger?
There's about 500 people in the
500? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so we're not that bad. Let's not ask Mark where he is.
I don't. First, after the first game, slid down the rankings somewhat to 17th.
Are you 17th, are you?
Pretty good.
You've definitely
good.
used ChatGPT. 100%
What?
you've used
What?
ChatGPT. 100%. 100%. It's fixed. Well, anyway, why don't we have a little bet on this as well? Do you know what? We are having a bet, and someone, again, is going to get into the comments and give us what is the forfeit for whoever loses out of us 3. Producer Jim is desperate to get involved, but it's not as funny if he shaves his eyebrows off. So us 3, give us our forfeit for who comes third.
We will, when we've hopefully got a bit more time next week, read out our favourite names. There was a couple of Max Laqueef.
Max Laqueef has to be my favourite.
Yeah, no, but there were a couple of others that did make me laugh. A big shout out to Laheef's Laughs Loves, which we did very much enjoy. There's a Peter Horn Appreciation Club, Ryan, that's in there. Anyway, huge thank you to Ryan and Max for being with us this week. Max, our England superstar. We are so genuinely proud, mate. Like, genuinely, Ryan and I have been like, we have waxed lyrical. We don't need to go too much more about it, but mate, I wish we'd done the whole show on you. But it was very nice to have Louis Lynagh on as well to talk about that Italian win. But a huge thank you to everybody. Let us know, guys, if you spotted Max, in the warm-up, if you saw him at Twickenham, if you saw some of the memes, if you liked the campaign. And of course, it was all Max's own doing in terms of how well he's played, but also some of the stuff, the support that has come from all of you guys has been incredibly valuable. So a huge thank you. We love you all, and we will see you all next week.
do not forget to go and watch Scrum to Scratch as well.
More or nothing.